Hello everybody, welcome to another video on the channel, and a while back I got an idea. Super Mario Wonder looks incredible, looks like a true next step for 2D Mario, and it's got me hyped. But I was wondering, what about all the previous 2D Mario games? Specifically, how long would it take for me to beat all of them? I predicted about 7 days for this challenge. So that's what we're going to be doing. There's about 12 Super Mario Bros. 2D platformers, and I gave myself 7 days to complete all of them. Did it go well? You're going to have to watch the video, you idiot. Now, you may be wondering, but my glorious leader, how exactly are we going to be playing Super Mario Bros. The original? Well, that's a good question, because there's so many different variations. I mean, we can go to the Wii and Wii U Virtual Console and pick it up there. We can go to Nintendo Switch Online. We can do the Mario All-Stars for SNES. We could do Mario All-Stars for Wii, that's what it was for. We could do the Mario Advance trilogy. We could even do this neat little Game & Watch Mario Brothers toy thing that Nintendo put out, and it's really cool. Yeah, it's neat. But I think because I have an opportunity to, we're going with OG NES Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt. We're going to be playing it on the Retron 5, which is a neat little aftermarket console that can play NES, SNES, Famicom, Genesis, and I believe Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. So, idea, maybe, I don't know how long this will take, because I'm confident I can get through the first couple ones very quickly, but how long it takes to beat the newer ones that have a lot more levels and are a bit longer, we'll see. So, yeah, let's try it out. You ever have what you think is a really good idea, but you quickly realize once you start working on it that it's gonna be bad, or not bad, but bad for you and, like, your brain? Me neither. Let's get this shit going. Alright, I have the 7-day count timer, and, screw it, this will either be done in, like, 3 days, or I'll fail miserably. So, let's begin.
You're playing bases on band, and then all of a sudden, you're given the helm to the successor of one of the most popular...
Alright, starting off with the original, the OG 1985 Super Mario Bros. I'm gonna be real with you guys, I don't like this game that much. I really don't think it's held up. My main issue is both the level design and the controls. Level design at parts feels kind of random and unfair in classic NES fashion, but also sometimes it just feels like somebody went into Mario Maker to make these levels, you know? And for the physics, I can't get behind it. Mario's just not as responsive as I'm used to. It feels like I have a lot less control over him in midair. He feels slippery when he's, like, landing. Like, going from landing a jump to hitting the button for the next jump, it feels like there's a delay in it. But, I mean, it's still a classic. I still had a fine time with it, though there were some frustrating moments. I got this one done in about an hour, which is about as much as I expected, and overall, yeah, the original Mario, don't go back to it. It's not that good, guys. So that's the first game down. I never want to do that again. I'm of the opinion that, the original Mario Bros. Does not hold up, like, at all. I think the button B to select a world. I didn't even know there was a thing. Okay, I hit the wrong button. But yeah, let's do Mario Bros. 2 now. So, at 11 p.m., I popped in Super Mario Bros. 2, and oh my god, guys, this game slaps. It slaps so hard. It's so charming and unique. The music is so bouncy. I mean, the level design is incredible. This game is awesome. The fights are amazing. The graphics are kind of quirky and weird and not great, but like in a good way. I love this game. Like this, I dare say, might be one of my favorite of the 2D Mario's. Leagues better than Mario 1. The controls are kind of a bit slippery and floaty, but the level design compensates for that. Throwing items creates like a good basis for puzzles. The boss fights with Birdo and Wart and the Cobra and Mauser, they're all great. This is the first game where you can play as multiple characters. You can play as Luigi, Toad, Peach, and they all play completely differently. This game is incredible. It took me about 3 hours to beat, and I was left wishing there was more, but it was getting late. It was about 3 a.m., so I decided to end night 1 from there. Alright, and after, I believe, about 3 hours... Please don't do something. Okay. Yeah, so we've been Mario Bros. 2, so now... That's cool, I only played as Mario through the whole thing. That's actually cool how they have the different number of levels you played with each character. That's a fun idea. But also, that game was a lot more fun than the first one. Just super zany and just good. So, feeling pretty good, but we're going to go straight to Mario Land for the Game Boy. Alright, let's get this one out of the way. Super Mario Land is a early Game Boy game, and boy does it feel like it. Janky controls, kind of odd physics, and just overall not as good as the rest of the series. It has the one classic music track, but that just plays throughout the entire game on loop, and it's kind of annoying. Super Mario Land has like its own little quirks, its own little uniqueness, because they, at this point, Nintendo still hadn't really established the Mario look, you know? So, still, the Mario games could go in more different approaches, which you see in this one. This game isn't good. It's not great. I don't want to make fun of it, though, because that's like making fun of a sick puppy. But, this late into the night, I just... whatever. An hour in, and I beat it, and that kind of concludes day 1. Alright, so it is currently, I guess we're officially a day in, or almost a day in, which, for completing 3 games now, even if they're 3 of the shortest ones, I'm feeling pretty good. Just beat Super Mario Land, exactly 6 days on the clock. So, I think we're doing fine. I'm gonna play Super Mario 3 now. As far as mentally, I don't think I've gotten tired of it yet. Because when I think about it, I've played maybe a combined 5 hours over the past 24 hours, so that's not that insane of a number for a lot of people. But, yep, just gonna keep on moving. So we're in day 2 now, officially. I woke up and I kind of had the thought, man, I would rather be playing Zelda or Pikmin or anything else, but Mario. Now, this was actually my first time ever playing Super Mario Bros. 3, and I was interested to see what the hype was all about, and yeah, I get it, this game is really good. It feels like the true evolution of the Mario series up to this point. Like, this is everything the original game thought it was being but with people who understood the NES hardware much, much better, this game slaps. It would fit well on the SNES, that's how good it is. I love the graphics, I love the art direction, the kind of pastel colors that are kind of muted but still colorful. The level design is peak, introduces a lot of ideas that would stick with the series. The power-ups are all fun to use, even the frog suit, and it has one of the best, introduces the Koopalings, which are a fun little side mini bosses. Has this cool overworld, which the Mario games would continue to have. This overworld is probably better than most of the modern games when it comes to a mini map. And yeah, this game slaps. It's incredible. Took me about 5 hours to beat. Was very tired, but it's hard to complain when you're playing such a good game like this. I could be watching pro wrestling right now, but instead I'm stuck with this stupid, dumb, one of the best games of the 16-bit generation. Wow, what an incredible game. In fact, this is actually my favorite 2D Mario game, and I played it for like 2 hours, and then I fell asleep. So that was the end of day 2. Alright, it is day 3. I just am starting this late, because it's 2 p.m., because I, once again, had stuff to do, and then I got distracted, but, whatever. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, this game is incredible. It's really good. Yoshi's in it, that's kinda cool. My thumbs started to hurt while playing this one. It took me all day to beat this, but it's still good. It's still my favorite Mario game. Controls are perfect. Yoshi is pretty cool, and they got the cape feather, which is cool because you get to skip most of the game with it. So that's pretty rad. So I don't have to play as much Mario because I'm starting to not want to play so much Mario anymore. Guys, please help. Alright, so Super Mario World is beaten, but it's not completed. I did not keep track of how many levels I did, but there's 96 in the game. Currently, we have 4.5 hours left in the day, so let's see how many of those levels I did. 43. Out of 96 levels, I did 43. So, about 7 hours later, we beat 100% of Super Mario World. 7 games left, including the next one, which is Super Mario Land 2, so whatever. So the cool thing about Super Mario Land 2 is that I own it for the Game Boy, the original Japanese version. And so you know what that means. I can play Mario in a different room. Please, just this is the closest thing I have to a change in my daily routine. Man, I just did not have fun with this game. I actually really like Super Mario Land 2, at least the first time I played it. There's so many wacky and unique concepts, especially in the level designs. I mean, you go inside Mario for a world. You have a level that's in his balls, and the entire level design is based around balls. There's a space level. There's frickin' you get eaten by a turtle, and then you have to, that's how you're introduced to the underwater levels. A spooky level is like every world is so much more different than just like, oh, here's a grassland, here's a desert land, here's ice, here's fire, whatever. But when you are already 3 days into playing Mario games and you've already played this game, the novelty kind of wears off quick, and the janky controls and just kind of outdated graphics and music and all that really do set in. But yeah, I would still recommend this game just for this specific challenge. This was a bit of a slog to get through, even though it only took me 3 hours. So I've just beaten Super Mario Land 2, and it took me about 2.5 hours. So I think this is where we're gonna leave off for today. Ugh, my hands are starting to hurt. Just from holding down the run button. And we still have, what, 6 more games to go in like 4 days. I still think we can do it. Let's get this out of the way. Yoshi's Island was probably my favorite game playing on this entire challenge. The art is beautiful, the music is fun, the level design is peak, the enemies are great, the mechanics, everything about this game is incredible. Except for if you were trying to rush through it, say for a video where you complete every Mario game in 7 days. Uh-oh, that's me. Yeah, this, don't try and, if you're gonna 100% this game, don't do it in, like, don't do it in 7 days. That's bad, and don't do that. This game is great, but playing it for this video was exhausting. Bro, I only have 3 days left, and I've only done the first 3 worlds of Yoshi's Island. Yeah, I had to stay up till 4 to beat this one, so... Ooh, it was rough. The back half of this game really kind of drags, especially when you're playing it at 2:30. But the boss fight at the end is one of the best in platformer history, so... Yeah, obviously, play this game, it's a masterpiece, but just don't do what I'm doing. Which is a good kind of moral for the entire run, which is just, don't do what I'm doing, man. Today was mostly spent on New Super Mario Bros. For the DS, which is a lot easier of a completion process and a lot easier of a game in general than Yoshi's Island. So, but don't get me wrong, I mean, doing this whole series and playing through the games chronologically actually really helped this game stand out. It made me appreciate the kind of the development of Super Mario games from Super Mario World to this game, transporting pretty much all of Mario's 3D game moves into 2D was super smart. It opens up new avenues for level design, introducing other characters that were in the 3D games but not in the 2D ones. It's no wonder why this game was so popular. Things like the triple jump and the ground pound and wall jumping, the power-ups are fun. Everything about this game is new in the context of when it came out. As for the other games, not really. This game took me most of the day to complete, but afterwards I did start up on New Super Mario Bros. 2 for the 3DS, which you may know is not the next game chronologically, but I did start it because it is more of a actual completion process than the original, than the one for the Wii. The one for the Wii, it's more straightforward, but Super Mario Bros. 2 has, like, coin missions and all these booster packs. So, yeah, that's why I decided to start that a bit earlier on, while I still have use of my thumbs. Alright, so here's how the next 2.5 days would go. At night, hanging in bed, just playing Mario Bros. 2, trying to get through the missions and the rest of it, and then during the day, trying to get through the Wii and Wii U games. This kind of worked, at least when it came to completing the challenge. Where it failed was keeping me mentally stable. It kind of fell flat when it comes to that. But first let's go over Mario Bros. 2 for the 3DS. Honestly, this game gets too much hate. This was at the peak of the the late Wii, early Wii U generation, where everything for Nintendo was just bleak. So this definitely didn't help being such a cookie-cutter 2D Mario. But out of the new Soup games, I gotta say this one might have the best level design, maybe outside DS. It has some neat ideas. Alright, the Tanuki suit is pretty much always a fun power-up to use. The whole coin mechanic is stupid and basic but kind of fun, just because when you get the thingy makes a noise, and the noise makes my brain happy. You know, that kind of thing. And also, there's missions in this game. I didn't get all of the packs because the 3DS eShop is no more, but from the free stuff, I was able to complete it, and honestly, it does add a good amount of enjoyment and separates it from the rest of the game. It definitely feels like this game is heavily inspired by Super Mario Bros. 3, which is weird because it's Super Mario Bros. 2, based it off of Super Mario Bros. 2, but Super Mario 3D World, the one with 3 in it, that's the one that's kind of based off of 2, and oh my god, my brain hurts. Oh no! Look, man, I'm sorry, guys, but this game is really boring. Like, I mean, it's fine. It works as a video game. This was a game from my childhood. I feel like half the human population has some sort of nostalgia from this game. It doesn't hold up that well. I think that might just be because I've played so many Mario games in a row, and I think the other reason why is because this game is so clearly designed for multiplayer. And yeah, the multiplayer is fun, but I didn't drag anybody down with me into my own personal hell to make this video, so I couldn't experience it. And the level design when you're playing single player, it's so empty, like... I guess the camera's so zoomed back to fit multiple people, and the levels just have so much just empty space all around. It makes a single-player campaign really boring, and also makes the game really easy. So, yeah, I don't have much to say about this one. Didn't even take me long to complete. That was a video game. New Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros. Mario Bros. New. Super Mario Bros. Wii U was fine. Was it? Yeah, it was fine. Took me under 10 hours to beat. Just nothing even remotely interesting about this one. Everything's over and done, and I feel fine. My body is fine. My soul, however, that one hurts. So, in conclusion, don't do what I do. Don't. Why would you? Super Mario Wonder looks like a good game, but like, don't do this in anticipation for it, 'cause that would be stupid. Really, really, really stupid.